I'm gonna show you how to make the best granola. The best part of this recipe is that you can literally just use whatever you have on hand. So I am going to be doubling the recipe because I made a normal batch last week and that got me through the week, but I would rather just make a larger batch so it'll last me 2 weeks instead. If you want a normal batch, cut the measurements in half. I'm starting out with 4 cups of oats. The normal recipe calls for 2 cups. And then I'm just chopping up 1.5 cups of walnuts. So the normal recipe calls for 3/4 cup. You can leave these pieces as big as you like. I kind of like having some larger chunks, so I'm just roughly chopping. Next, it calls for 1.5 cups of chopped almonds. I actually already bought chopped almonds, so these are pre-chopped. So I'm just gonna measure out 1.5 cups. Then it calls for 1/2 cup to 1 cup of dried cranberries. I don't have any craisins or cranberries, but I do have raisins, and I definitely don't have 1/2 cup or a full cup. So I'm just gonna throw the rest of these in there. So that's all I got. Okay, then it calls for coconut shreds, but I don't have any coconut shreds. So to add some more texture, I'm gonna throw in some flaxseed and some pumpkin seed. Yeah. Just gonna sprinkle some in there. This looks like bird food. This I feel like is the best part. It just like elevates it. So it calls for 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, or sorry, the original recipe calls for 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. So I'm gonna add 4. Measure with your heart. Okay, so you're gonna mix all of your dry ingredients up and then we'll add our wet ingredients. Then we're gonna measure out 1/2 cup of coconut oil and melt that. While that's melting, I'm gonna preheat the oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. So once your coconut oil is melted, you can drizzle that into your dry mixture. Then we're gonna measure out 1 cup of maple syrup. You could use agave nectar, you could use honey, you could do a mixture of both, just some sort of liquid sweetener. Drizzle that. I know this may seem expensive because like a bottle of maple syrup is pretty expensive, but when you think about how much this is gonna make, when you buy like a healthy granola from the store, it's like $8, like the Purely Elizabeth or Simply Elizabeth brand or whatever. You're still getting way bang for your buck, better bang for your buck by making it homemade. And it's healthier, you know what's in it. I actually forgot coconut sugar. This was supposed to go in with our dry ingredients. I'm gonna measure out about 1/2 cup. You can use like brown sugar. I just prefer this. And then that is it. We are just gonna mix everything